Hi, it's Jo from Minerva. Today I'm going to do a really quick sew along of a fold over elastic technique on underwear. I've explained this in more detail in a sew along of the Wardrobe by Me hipster underpant pattern, but if you just want to know how to put fold over elastic on, we're doing a little tutorial today. You can also use the fold over elastic as a binding. So on this top I've used it to bind the sleeves, as the fabric has a stretch in one direction. There you are, can you see it? Not so much in that direction. And so I've used it to bind the armholes and make a neat finish on the armhole edge, and you can do that on vest tops or activewear. The pattern that I'm using is the Iris pattern by Tilly and the Buttons. It has options for different elastic applications, and you can choose the one that's most comfortable for you. There's two ways that you can attach fold over elastic. So you can take the wrong side of the fold over elastic, which has normally got a little bit of a sheen on it, and you can place that behind the knicker edge. So this is the top of the knicker edge, and I'm taking the knicker edge fabric to the center line of the fold over elastic, and I'm going to sew this on in the first pass of the machine. So I'm going to pass this elastic through the machine twice. On the first pass I just want to secure the fabric to the elastic, and I want to set the tension. So I've got my machine on zigzag on a very narrow stitch, so it's hardly making a zigzag at all. It's a stretch stitch, and I want it to be quite long because I want it to have a bit of tension. So I'm going to have it on 2.5 length and a very narrow zigzag. I need to get the stretch on my elastic just right now. I'm not going to stretch the knicker, I'm just going to stretch the elastic. Okay, so I'm going to put some tension on the elastic. I don't want it stretched to full capacity, otherwise it will have no stretch left in it. So I'm going to stretch it. Keep my stitching on the left of the halfway line. Try and concentrate on the elastic. Sometimes you're concentrating on keeping the fabric and then you forget to stretch, and you get with a baggy waistband. So I'm going to keep this on tension but not this, so this is not being stretched. On the second pass you're going to fold over the elastic and encase the seam, and that's why you've done that first pass, because it's just as a bit of an insurance policy, so this stretchy fabric won't ping out of your fold over elastic. This time you're going to put a wider zigzag on, and sew from the front or the right side of your fabric, and you need to take out the wrinkles and sew, and then it will stretch back and you will still have some stretch in your waistband. When you get to the end and you want to sew the two elastics together, you can widen your zigzag stitch and forwards and backwards over that fold, and that way it's joined a flat seam together and it's stopped it from stretching out. So this is fold over elastic. The second method is slightly more skillful, and you will pass the elastic and the fabric through your machine once. So you put the machine on straight stitch and stretch your elastic and knot your fabric and fold it over and sew as you go along. The only thing I find with this is I'm concentrating so much on catching the fabric that I actually forget to keep the tension on the elastic. So I end up being very neat here to keep it all in case, but then I've forgotten to do that little bit of tension. So I end up with quite a baggy waistband. Sometimes I can do it if I'm really concentrating. But it is slightly more tricky to control. And sometimes I just get where the fabric peeks out. There you go, it's done it to me. It's because when I put more tension on, which is what I wanted, when I put more tension on the elastic, the fabric popped out. So here, where I haven't got very much tension, I've been concentrating on keeping the fabric inside the elastic. Then I build up a little bit of tension there. Look, I've got it quite good there. And then it's just popped out, and then you're getting a hole. And it's really tricky to unpick. So I use the 2-pass method, but you can try this if you think you can be really skillful. Two methods for attaching fold over elastic. I like to use fold over elastic on the waist and a knicker elastic on leg, but you can mix those up and make a pair that's really comfortable for you. Thanks very much for watching. See you again soon.